Hi everyone, this is Brian Hayes and welcome to the 10th video in our series on classic guitar riffs. Today we look at the 1970s original version by Eric Clapton of Layla. This was as he recorded it with the blues band Derek and the Dominos. Layla was written by Clapton and the drummer of that group, Jim Gordon. This riff needs to be played on an electric guitar. It includes two massive string bends of a full tone, two semitones, and a number of hammer-ons, which are virtually close to impossible to play on a standard acoustic guitar set up with medium gauge strings and a medium action. So I'll talk you through the notes and play it here on this Stratocaster guitar, but I'll also speak about how you can play this riff on an acoustic guitar if you don't have an electric guitar. Now, some 20 years after the 1970s version of Layla, Clapton went on to record and release an unplugged acoustic version of the same song. He won a Grammy Award for Best Rock Song for the unplugged version, but it's quite different to what the electric version is. So today's tutorial is focusing exclusively on the 1970s Derek and the Dominos version of Layla. Let's take a look at it now. Layla starts in the key of D minor. The chords for the introduction are D minor, B flat, C, and D minor. So that's what's going on in the background while the lead guitar is doing its thing with the riff. D minor, B flat, C, D minor. Okay, we're also going to use just the three thickest strings throughout the first part of this riff, and that's the E string, number 6, A, number 5, and D, number 4. Now, as I said, this version of Layla relies on light gauge strings and a light gauge action so that we can do things like hammer-ons and pull-offs. So that's how the riff opens. Now you'll notice I'm only picking some of those notes. I'm not picking every note. And if we slow it down, we've got A is the first note. We hammer on to C. So C is the 3rd fret on the 5th string, but we don't re-pick that. And then we do the same thing one string down. We play the notes D, F, A, but we only pick the first D. So you see what I'm doing there? One's called a hammer-on, and the other's called a pull-off. So I'm actually pulling my finger off the string and vibrating it in the way I'm doing it. Okay, so then we pick the C to the D. So the single string start to Layla, the notes are A, C, D, F, D, C, D. And if you look at my right hand down here, you'll see the notes that I'm picking. Okay, now once we get that, we then play some double stops. By double stops, I mean we're playing 2 strings at once. And we're down here on the 5th fret, and we're playing D on the A string, and we're playing A on the D string. So 5th fret of the 5th string, the note D, and the 7th fret of the 4th string, the note A. And we hit those power notes together, the 1st and the 5th in a scale. Very powerful sounding notes. So what we do now is we hold that shape, okay, and we go. Now, I recommend that you actually use your index finger and your little finger, your pinky finger, to hit those two. Even though the space is easy there, you'll see in a minute that we need to use these other fingers to play some additional notes. So we'll play the D with our index finger, the A with our 4th finger, our little finger, and we've got this. So what we're doing is we're sliding down there. Again, we're striking the D and the A, and then we're just moving that shape down 2 frets so that the notes become C and G. So, okay, we just slide that, we don't pick the second series of notes, but we do then pick the next series of notes. So we then take that down another 2 frets. So we're now on frets 1 and 3, and we're playing B flat and F. So we're playing B flat on the A string, F on the D string. So we've got... Now, after we've hit that, the next notes are A and G. So we're playing here B flat and F. We just lift our first finger off, and then we hit with our third finger, we hit G on the 6th string. So let me just play that for you. Okay, and then we slide that up 2 frets back to the C and G, and we just go C, A, G. We let the other G ring on. So you can see I'm pulling off that C, and I'm picking the G. And then we go back to how we started. Now that's the first part of Layla. That's repeated over and over again. On the original recording, it just plays in the background, and Clapton double tracks his guitar. When we're playing it on our own, and we're going to have to play this riff as like a one-person band, we will only play that riff twice, and then we'll go up here, up 2 octaves, and play the second part of the riff. But just be aware, on the original recording, the recording everyone remembers, that low part that we're playing there just goes through the entire introduction, and the riff is built up, it's multi-tracked, and 2 other layers, at least 2, in fact there's 3 layers of other guitars added to it. So let's play that slowly again. Okay, so that's the first part of Layla. Now what happens now, as I said, that keeps going on in the background in the recording. But what Clapton does then, he takes up that basic melody up 2 octaves, right up here, so that our A is now on the 10th fret of the guitar on the B string. So we're playing A, C, D, F, D, C, D. Now again, we don't pick every note. We do the same hammer-ons that we did here. So those same notes are now being taken up 2 octaves, okay, and played right up there. A, C, D, F, D, C, D. Okay, now the next part, the actual melody that we want to play is this. So G, F, E, C, D. However, and if you're playing it on an acoustic guitar, that's really how you're going to have to play it. You're going to have to play G up there on the 15th fret of the first string of the guitar, F on the 13th, E on the 12th, C on the 13th fret of the second string, the B string, and then you can go back here if you want. You can play D back on the 10th fret of the first string, or you can play D on your 15th fret of your second string. Now, remember I said that on an acoustic guitar it's very hard to do full tone bends. This guitar I've got here is set up with light gauge strings. It's a 0.009 to 0.046 set, so reasonably heavy in the bass, reasonably light in the top. Now what we need to play it the way Eric does, so now instead of playing G like that, what Eric does is he plays F on the 13th fret, but bends that note right up so that it becomes G. Now if you have a look on my guitar, I've got to push that first string up higher than where the third string currently sits. I've got to bend that first string just with the strength of my finger and push it up so that it actually ends up higher on the guitar neck than the third string of the guitar, because that's the pitch I'm trying to find, that note there. Okay, so Eric's going, and then he drops that back to F. So instead of going da, da, he's going, and then it's as normal, no more bending. E, C, D, and then the same as before. But now this time the melody goes A, G, E, C, D. So A right up here on the 17th fret of the guitar, G, E, C, D. But again, what Clapton does is instead of playing the A right up there on the 17th fret, he plays the G on the 15th fret and bends it up to A. Okay, so, and then, so let's just go through that slowly again. First I'll play it without the bends, and if you're playing this on an acoustic guitar, you'll go like this. And then the same again. Okay, but the real electric guitar riff is this. Okay, and then he plays all of that again with a slight twist at the end. So we do that high bit again. Now, the last note this time is actually C sharp, which is on the 14th fret of the second string of the guitar. But Clapton bends the C up to the C sharp and then puts some vibrato on that. So that very last part of the riff now becomes this. I hope you've enjoyed working your way through Eric Clapton's famous electric guitar riff, the intro for Layla, from the 1970s version by Derek and the Dominos. As always, keep in touch via my website, that's www.brianhayes.biz, B-I-Z. Drop me an email if you have any questions about playing the guitar, and keep in touch via my YouTube channel. It's easy to subscribe to, and that's the best way to be alerted when I update new videos on the many instruments that I play and teach. We'll fade out now with a band version of Layla. I'll double track the Stratocaster and play the same riff that we've just been through, but I'll add in some of the other overdubbed guitars that you hear in the original recording. Bye for now.